Yeah, I'm Ben Patten. I'm the lead operations section chief for Northern Rockies Team 3. And we're going to spend a little bit of time here just talking about sort of the process of operations and how it works from initial attack, kind of through extended attack. IA fires start on a local unit, and those local units via county, volunteer, structure fire departments, local fire units, state and federal will respond accordingly. Sometimes it's multiple days, sometimes it escalates quickly and they quickly run out of the resources able to manage that fire. We're paying attention to these emerging fires, um, gathering data and intel whether we ever show up or not. Even if it's nationwide, we're watching these fires, we're looking at the information coming in on them. So as soon as our team gets an order, we really try to focus on meeting the immediate need of that community, and that strategy incorporates far more than just tactical operations on the ground. It's the whole strategy of the impacts to the community, the natural resources, and the things that we're there to protect. Between values at risk, risk to responder, probability of success, we make decisions on how we're going to engage that fire. Firefighters in the moment make the best decision with the information they have. So a lot of those early on decision making, when things are really moving, when there's kind of an overwhelming sense happening on a fire, people make the best decisions they can with what they have at hand. We're looking at a lot of different things to really try to make sure that we come in the right operational tempo as we take a fire over. In order to have a correct span of control, typically when a fire is in an initial attack phase, we refer to things as like the right flank, left flank, heel, and head of the fire. When a team comes in, we start to reference things as far as a chunk of ground, and we use the phonetic alphabet from Alpha through Zulu. So a typical fire, your flanks you'll have an Alpha Bravo flank, and then a Zulu Yankee flank. And the reason we do it right and left flanks and top and bottom of the alphabet is so we have room for expansion. So as the fire grows, we can add new letters into the divisions. And a division is just a decided piece of ground. Typically, we pick that chunk of ground. Access is a big part of it, and workload. So a division supervisor comes in and they take control of that piece of ground. They work with all the resources that are there, and they have objectives that come from the line officers, agency administrators, come through the strategic plan, flows down through the branch chiefs right to the division supervisors, and then their job is to execute those on the ground level through tactics that are appropriate. Our air operations branch director works directly with the geographic areas and then also the lead operations to get the appropriate air resources there for the need. We have to justify that need, and it's not a given that we're going to have it for 14 days, or it might be one day that we really need this piece of aircraft. And start our day early in the morning, far before briefing. We look at satellite imagery of how the fire moved overnight. We look at weather. We look at fire behavior, the potential growth rates for the day. So after our pre-ops briefing, we move into our operational briefing, and then the specific tactical portions of the briefing in the morning come after the morning briefing. All the division supervisors have breakout sessions with all of the resources on their division where they talk specific tactical needs for the day. You might have water tenders, you might have hotshot crews, you might have type 2 crews, hand crews, engines, might be federal engines, state engines, county, contract engines, medical units, their heavy equipment, dozers, excavators, could be logging equipment depending on what we're doing. So that division supervisor oftentimes has typically we have around 50 to upwards to 200 people that they're responsible for on their piece of ground. The goal is to have the information that is coming from the line officers, the agency administrators, through the ICs, that flows cleanly all the way down to that first year kid on an engine or on a hand crew, and that they understand why they're there and the risks involved and the mitigations that we're doing. Firefighting is a dangerous thing, and those of us that do it, we understand that. But our job and what we put a lot of time and effort into is risk mitigation. It's why we focus on values. What's the most valuable thing? And then the risk to responders. What can we do to make this the best situation possible for them to be successful? So after the operational breakouts with the division supervisors, they go out and they execute their day. The ops chiefs back at the ICP start our planning cycle for the day. That planning cycle consists of resources needed for the next operational shift, where we're going with this fire. We spend time looking at the weather that's coming in. We look at the fire behavior that we're dealing with. We look at the values at risk and what we're really working towards, the objectives, and what do we need to accomplish that going into tomorrow. We spend time during that day typically doing recons, whether it's with vehicles or aviation, to ensure that what is happening on the ground is in alignment with the objectives. We have multiple meetings throughout the day. We do a tactical meeting where the rest of the command and general staff gets to understand what the plan is for tomorrow. And then there's just a constant flow of data coming in from the field, how things are working, what's being successful. We end the day out with a planning meeting that is available to all the cooperators and people involved and the agencies, and we come to a concurrence on what we are going to do for the following day. We get into the evening hours. We do a late night, 9 o'clock usually at night. We do a post-operational brief. Every division supervisor briefs. They talk about their accomplishments for the day. They talk about the challenges that they're facing. They talk about their needs. So in our cycle of operational planning, the resources required to accomplish the objectives is always something that can be a challenge, and part of that is the shared resources nationally. We aren't the only fire, and so we have to be really creative. We have to be very detailed in how we describe to the region what we need for resources, why we need them, and how long we need them for.